This episode is going to be a lot of fun because I love talking about media propaganda. And I've got my friend Chris Yanak from Rained Out Rantcast here. Also, you've been AM Wake Up pretty consistently the last month or so. So it's good to see you, man. How are you?
Good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Well, when we talk propaganda, I mean, you and Corey Hughes are my guys for that. You talk about like the lies and whatnot. And we were having, we were talking about this you came on day zero and the topic of propaganda came up in the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act of 2012. And it reminded me, it's like, well, it's been like, it got passed into law in 2013 with the National Defense Authorization Act. It's a full decade of propaganda. I always think back on that Motley Crue Greatest Hits album, A Decade of Decadence, right? This is like a decade of bullshit from the federal government to you. Smith-Mundt Modernization Act legalizes propaganda in America to be used on Americans. Isn't that nice of them? What a bunch of fucking assholes.
So, that was pushed forth by the Obama administration.
I thought his only flaw was that he wore a tan suit to a press conference once. I was told that he was a perfect president. He certainly didn't take away your right to not get lied to by the media. That would be crazy, right?
That was the paddleboard. I heard that. Yeah, the Smith-Mundt Act in the last 10 years of I mean, I guess something Steve pointed out, when they signed this and this came into be is when they really started pumping these war hawks from the government into CNN, MSNBC.
Oh yeah.
What's his face now? Now I just drew a blank on him. The stratosphere, John Brennan. I mean, him going into his job. These guys going from pharmaceutical into government, vice versa. I mean, these are things that they've been doing for a decade at least, and longer. And in the last, I guess 2016 is when it was cranked to 11, if you will.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when they really cranked it. And then with COVID coming in, and now they're pushing it again. They're rolling the same thing out again with COVID.
I'd love to say
propaganda, the same bullshit.
I'd love to say we're not going to fall for that same trick twice, but I know a large percentage of the population will fall for that trick twice.
Yeah. With this, I'm wondering if they're going to go ahead with the anal swabbing.
They should.
Because they say that the anal swabbing is what the most accurate, quickest way to tell if you got COVID. And they were supposedly trying to do it in China. So I could see that's when this time they're going to make everybody bend over. And it's scary because there's a large part of the population that will do this. There's still people wearing masks. There's still people pushing the same narrative. There's still people and they're not even in the government. I live in Northwest Arkansas, right? I'm in a southern state, right? But it is Walmart country here. And I still see people out in public wearing masks.
Yeah.
On, walking trails wearing masks. So, the propaganda and this mass psyop it's working on some, and it's sad.
It is sad.
It's a sad state.
I would, I feel bad for some of those people. The people that are passive, the people that just don't know any better, that get bombarded with this fear and it breaks their brains, and they get into that Yuri Bezmenov stage of demoralization where you can shower them with correct information. It won't change their mind. I feel bad for them as long as they weren't the ones that were being really vocal towards us. Like, how dare you? You're going to kill grandma and all those, those people can fuck off. But the people that just they don't know any better. They're just kind of dumb, or they don't know the game. Look, if you don't understand the game, I get it, man. It's not explained. It doesn't come with rules. And if you turn on your TV and you assume that those people on the news are telling you the truth, you maybe just haven't been watching the news as carefully as you should, because you could find out pretty quickly that they have a lousy track record of lying to you constantly. And not just about little things like whether or not it's going to be 74 tomorrow or 78. No, like they lie to you about things that will kill you. So they tell you that this is safe and that's dangerous. And then when it's totally backwards. So like if your relationship with the media is like, well, I'm just going to give them the benefit of the doubt. My question is, why? Why would you ever do that? Like, what do you have to see after the last 3 years? Like, what are you waiting for? You know?
Yeah, and the visceral response from some of these people when you try to enlighten them, so to speak, on what's going on. There's a visceral like response to the whole thing, and it's been wild to see, especially the last 3.5, going on 4 years with COVID, because now we find out that they have qualified immunity, they have sovereign immunity. The FDA, the CDC, these letter ABC or alphabet agencies, that they can say and do whatever they want.
Thanks for watching that clip. If you want to hear the entire episode in audio format, just go wherever podcasts are served, search for Macroaggressions, subscribe to the show, and please rate it when you get a chance. Thanks, everybody.